you for this lecture on cloud storage. Today we will see the basics of the cloud storage. So these are the contents that through which we are going. Firstly, we will see what do we mean by the cloud storage, the basics of the cloud storage. Then we will go through the concept known as a storage as a service. Is basically known as a SaaS. Then we will look at various cloud storage providers. Then we will look into the issues related to the security, reliability. Then we go through the advantages of the cloud storage. What are the cautions to be taken? What do you mean by the cloud storage outage? What do you mean by cloud storage theft? And lastly, we will see, is the cloud storage for me? So at the end of this lecture, you will be understand the cloud storage overview. Yes? Okay. Now we'll start with actual lecture. So this is the cloud storage basics. So in this, we will see the definition of the cloud storage. You know the storage. Simply storage, we have the pen drive, we have the hard disk in which we store our files. Here the name itself suggests the cloud storage. So where we do store our data, we do not keep any device with us such as a pen drive, hard disk, portable hard disk, but we keep it on the internet, keep it on the cloud. So here the definition says the cloud storage involves exactly what the name suggests. Yes, the storage on the cloud, that means anywhere on the internet. So here it says storing your data with a cloud service provider rather than on a local system. Yes or no? So there are various cloud service providers which gives you the storage as a service, and they will maintain all the hardwares and all the security of your data and all these things. We don't need to take care of all the things. That will be done by this service provider. As with the other cloud services, you access the data stored on the cloud via an internet link. So how do you access the data? Data is through the internet link. So you are going on the internet and you are accessing your data. You can delete it, you can read it, you can write it, you can do anything on it based on the rights given on that particular files. So that is the cloud storage. So here it is being shown in the diagrammatic way. This is a cloud service provider can simply add more commonality hard drives to increase the organization's capacity. Suppose my organization is new and I want a large storage, but I do not have the capacity to maintain all the storage drives at my place. I do not have that much space. So what I do, I do not want to maintain them. So what I do, I take the service of the storage from the service provider. So what the service provider will do, service provider will provide me a pool of the devices, storage devices, on which you can put your data and you can access that data through the internet. Yes, so that is a cloud storage. I hope you understood the definition of the cloud storage. Now next we'll understand what do you mean by the storage as a service. We know in the cloud computing we generally term all the facilities that are being provided on the cloud are provided as a service. So out of that, one service provided by the service providers are the storage. That's why here we name it as a storage as a service. So what the service provider will do? Service provider will maintain all the disks with him, and he will give access to the disks to the organization or any individual user as a service. What do you mean by as a service? So client has to pay for the storage that is being used by him or her, and he can access his data from anywhere in the world through the internet. You can see in the diagram. So here it says the clients rent storage capacity from the cloud storage vendors. Okay. So the term storage as a service, or another term we use here, the same terminology here is software as a service, that is SaaS, we can in short form we call it as, that is acronym, means that the third party provider rents space on their storage to the end users who lack the budget or capacity budget to pay for it on their own. Just like I said from the diagram, the same thing is being stated over here. The storage service providers are nothing new, but given the complexity of the current backup, replication, and the disaster recovery needs, the service has become popular, especially among the small and the medium sized businesses. Say I have the small or medium sized business. So, what advantages I do have by using this storage as a service? That service provider will make the replicas of your data on the multiple servers, so that there is a less probability of losing your data. In case of the say disaster, what will done, suppose say my data is being kept on the data center located at Mumbai. If that data center has gone through some disaster, so what will happen to my data? Is my data being corrupted or it's being lost? No. Why no? Because there are multiple replicas of my data are being kept on the multiple servers. Yes. So there are various availability zones where your data is being kept as replicas. So if that particular place goes through the disaster, you can still recover your data with the help of this backup data or replicas. You can keep the service providers provide the functionality of keeping the backups. Yes. So in this way we can recover our data in case of the disasters. Yes. So this is what the advantage of this using the storage as a service. Now next slide we will go through the various providers who are providing the storage as a service. So which are the vendors? There are various providers for this cloud storage. Out of these, some of the examples are stated over here. The first one stated here is Apple iCloud. Then second is a Dropbox. Then very commonly known and used by all of us is the Google Drive. All of you are using the Google Drives. We have the Sheets, Google Sheets. We have the Google Docs. We have the Google Presentation, where we can store our presentation, we can store our Excels, we can store our docs, documents, and we can access it from any place, and that is also free of cost at some say specific space is being provided, say 7 GB or 8 GB or 10 GB, whatever it may be. Then we have again the Amazon Cloud Drive, that is Amazon S3 simple cloud storage. Then Microsoft also provide the storage as a service named as SkyDrive. Then we are using the emails, Gmail we are using. So all the web email providers are giving you some free space to store your data. So you send the images, you send the files. So all these things are being kept somewhere else in the cloud or on their own storages, and that is also free of cost. But beyond some limit, they take you the charges. Then again we have the another example or provider is a Flickr or Picasa, where you can save the millions of the images over the internet and you can access it from anywhere. You can create your own set of the images, or what we can say, you can create the albums, as well as the another vendor is a YouTube. You know, users are uploading their videos on the YouTube, and these videos can be accessible to anyone and from anywhere. Similarly, we have the Hostmaster and the GoDaddy and so on. There are many more. So these are the various cloud service providers. They provide the storage as a service. Next thing we will look at it is security. So from any organization point of view or any individual point of view, if we see, the data is very crucial. So we have to think about the security of the data that we are putting at some other's location. Yes, we do not know the location, but it is somewhere on the internet. So we have to look at this point. To secure the data, most systems use the combination of the techniques. So how the security is being provided to the data which is being kept over the internet? So first thing what we can do is we can provide the encryption. That we are not providing, it is being done by the service provider. The examples of the service provider that we have seen in the previous slides. So they provide the encryption of your data. So when you put your data on the internet or say cloud storage, it is being kept with the help of the encryption. Yes. Then another thing is the authentication process. So here you give some user ID and password and you authenticate the data accesses. If you want to give the access of the your data, but you want to give only the read access, so you can create a role, you can give the read access to the particular set of the persons, or say single person or set of single organization, as per your need, and then you can provide the access to your data. So this is another way of providing the security. And third one is the authorization practices. So these things can be used by the your service provider. Yes, and we pay for these things over the internet. So here it is being depicted with the help of the diagram. Here you can see this is a client, this is a cloud storage where your data is being stored and you get the access through the internet. Why security is important? Because anyone can breach your data, anyone can see your data, because it is in the common pool that is being shared among the multiple users. So here you can see we can have the encryption and the authentication are the two security measures you can use to keep your data safe on the cloud storage providers. So here is the we can say the authentication. We have the user ID and password. Without user ID password you cannot access it, and while keeping it on the storage you encrypt your data, while again fetching it you have to decrypt it with the help of the keys, encryption keys. Yes, so that's how you can secure your data on the cloud storage. Next factor we have to look into it is the reliability of your data. As it is over the internet, it should be reliable. If we say the cloud storage system is unreliable, then it becomes a liability for the organization. Yes, no one wants to save the data on the unstable system, nor would they trust a company that is finally unstable. अगर हम बात करते हैं कि हमारा डेटा लॉस्ट हो जाता है या अनस्टेबल है जहाँ से हम एक्सेस कर रहे हैं, so whenever we need the data, if we are not getting the access of the data, then it is an unstable system. Yes, so we will not trust that company to keep your data, because as and when required we are not getting the access of our own data. Most cloud storage providers try to address the reliability concern through the redundancy, but the possibility still exists that the system could crash and the clients have no way to access their saved data. So what it says, most cloud storage providers try to address the reliability concern. Now the things are very updated, and the cloud storage providers give you all these kinds of the securities, reliabilities. Hmm? But still the possibility still exists that the system could crash and leave the clients with no way to access their saved data. And how we can maintain this? The cloud providers maintain it by the replicas. The reputation is important to the cloud storage providers, as the client should get the data on time. If the client is not getting the access to his own data or his data is being lost, then the reputation of the storage provider goes down. No one will purchase the storage as a service from that cloud provider. If there is a perception that the provider is unreliable, they won't have many clients. Definitely your client list will be decreased, and if they are unreliable, they won't be around long, as there are so many players in the markets. As we have gone through the different providers of the cloud storage, we can have the number of providers over there. So it is a, in the market there are many players. If you are not going to provide the reliable service to the client, then you will not be able to sustain in the market. Next thing, we will see what are the different advantages of this cloud storage as a service. So here we know the data resides on the web, located across the storage systems rather than at a designated corporate hosting site. Yes, we have the data on the cloud. We do not have to maintain our own servers, or say we do not have to maintain our own storage devices at hosting site. We'll keep it our internet, that is on the cloud storage. Second thing, the cloud storage providers balance the server loads and move the data among the various data centers, ensuring that the information is stored close and thereby available quickly to where it is being used. I give the example over here. If you are hosting a website and you are giving the access to the common public, and the hits to your websites are increasing day by day, so what will happen if you have a single server? Then your server may crash at some point when there are number of hits are being increased to your web server. So you have the examples of the Flipkart, Amazon. So there are big billion sales when there is a limited time period when lakhs and thousands and billions of the users are hitting on the website. What happens at that time? if that organization do not maintain replicas of the server to address those requests, then it may hang. It will not respond to the requests that are being coming to that server. So what the data centers will do, or the cloud storage providers will do, they will use the concept of the, what we can say here, load balancer. What the load balancer will do, they will distribute the load among the multiple servers. So what the vendor has to purchase, the multiple, vendor has to keep the data on the multiple servers. Yes, and the load balancer will balance the load on the 3 servers as per the requests. So it balances the load. So although the request goes beyond the capacity of the one server, it is being transferred to the another server. Another server will respond to the queries. Yes. So this is how your data is being always available, and it is available quickly to all the users. Third thing, it allows you to protect your data in case there is a disaster. So as I said, it creates the replicas of your data, and you can get access of your data in case of the disasters as well. Then lastly, you may have the backup files of your critical information. Yes, we can create the backups, and we keep it on the another locations, so that we can replicate your data at given point of time. So these are the some of the advantages that are being stated over here. Next point, we will go through the cautions. What cautions to be taken while keeping your data on the cloud? So here, a mixed approach might be the best way to embrace the cloud, since the cloud storage is still immature. Yes, it was the case, it was immature, but it is not the case now. It is quite mature. If we see the current scenario, the large enterprises might have the difficulty with vendors like Google or Amazon, because they are forced to rewrite the solutions for their applications, and there is a lack of portability. Yes, if you want to keep your data, we have to rewrite the solutions to store onto their storage devices because of the portability issue. A vendor like the 3Tera, however, supports the applications developed in the LAMP, Solaris, Java, or say Windows.NET. The biggest deal breakers when it comes to the cloud storage seems to be a price and the reliability. This is a very crucial thing into that, because whatever the services that being provided by the service provider, for every service we have to pay a penny. Yes, so that is the biggest deal breakers when we want to pay the price. And this is where you have to vet your vendor to ensure you are getting a good deal with the quality service. Here, one mistake on your vendor's part could mean irretrievable data. Yes, so reliability is one of the major issue. So if we are not able to retrieve our data, so that will be the failure, or that is called as a mistake of your vendor. So the lot of the companies take the appetizer approach. So what the appetizer approach says, we have, or the client will test one or two services to see how well they mesh with the existing IT systems. So they do not take the whole system, but they try 2-3 services, and they see how the services will respond to your data. Yes, so this is how they use this appetizer approach for adapting to this cloud storage services. So here it is being, same thing is being shown with the help of the diagram. The many companies test out the cloud storage vendor with a one or two services before committing too much to them. The appetizer approach ensures the provider can give you what you want. So here you can see the two services are being used here by the client, and this is your cloud storage provider, and they test these two services to check whether they are satisfying the needs of the customer. Next factor we will look at it is a outage. What do I mean outage? Outage means that we are not able to get our data. Yes, organizations have to be cognizant of the inherent danger of storing their data on the internet. So we have the service of the Amazon named as S3. That is a simple storage service. So here, for example, the dealt with the massive outage in the February 2008. So the result was the numerous clients applications going offline because they were reliable on this Amazon S3 and it went down. That means no one was getting the access to their cloud, their data. So they were going offline. This Amazon reports that they have responded to the problem, adding the capacity to the authentication system blamed for the problem. They have also noted that no data was being lost in that period because they store the multiple copies of the every object in the several location. This is replicas of the data. So no one has lost their data. The point remains, however, that the clients were not be able to access their data as they had intended. So whenever the clients was required the data, they were unable to access it. And so you need to use the caution when deciding the pursue a cloud option. So this is called as a cloud outage. You will not get the access to your data as and when required in case of any disaster. Okay. The next concept we are looking at this cloud storage is the theft. So what about theft of your data? So your data may be stolen by some another organization or say some hacker. So this is your organization and this is where your data is being stored on the rack at somewhere else, and another organization may have his data over there next to your disk. So there might be a possibility that your data may be seen by that another organization. That means your data is being theft by that organization, as that organization is a competitor organizations of yours. Yes. So this will it happen? No, because there is quite tight security is being provided by the service providers. So it says whenever you let your data out of your organization, you give up the measure of the security. So nowadays, if you see, there is quite less chances of theft. Your data will be secured at the cloud storage because they are using too much security services, providing this security services over there. And lastly, the question coming to the mind, is the cloud storage for me? So as with so many of the cloud technologies we have discussed, figuring out whether your organization is a cloud storage friendly or not really comes down to your organization and what you want to do on the cloud. So while taking the service, we have to think over it whether we can go with it, whether our organization is cloud friendly or not, how much is our requirement, and how much is your data access. So we have to think over all the things and then we can go for the cloud as a storage as a service, because for each and every data, for each and every byte, for each and every access, we have to read write, we have to pay the money. That's why we have to think whether the cloud storage is really for me or not. You should also think about how much latency you are willing to tolerate. If you want to stream your video from your cloud store, you might be out of the luck if you face the latency problem. Another thing we have to keep into the mind is the latency, the time span required to respond by the server to the request. So this is the, if we are getting the late response from the server, then it is of no use. So we have to think of the latency as well. But if we now see, the latency is also too low if we have the good internet connection with us. So that's how we have seen the basic concepts of the cloud storage. So I thank you all very much for attending this lecture. Thank you all.